When we accept the concession of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in itself is an expression of gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to pardon, He loves to forgive, He loves to make things easy for us. So let's make sure we accept all the concession Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. You're welcome back to yet another episode of how we can earn the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasliman kasira. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. The quality we are going to talk about today is that acceptance of His gifts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves that when you accept His gifts. Now, let's look at the various gifts that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted mankind. The first one I would like to talk about is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that during the month of Ramadan, if you are a traveler, He has freed you from fasting because He doesn't want to burden you. So if you are traveling and it is difficult for you to fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has relieved you from that fast because He doesn't want to torture us with things that will burden us. This is a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah loves that we enjoy His concession, His gift. We enjoy and accept His gift. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw a group of companions and he told them that the reward belongs to those who broke their fast and travel because they took advantage of Allah's gift. So if you enjoy that gift, you still will have your massive reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And another type of gift is the salat during traveling. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shortened the salat when you are traveling. That's qasr. Yeah, shorten it, and it is more rewardable when you shorten it than when you do it in full, because you are accepting the concession of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you are following the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We need to understand that we have a Lord who is loving, who is merciful, and who is generous. He doesn't want to torture His servant. That's why we have to take this very powerful understanding from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he says that, and Allah loves that you accept His concession. Just that He loves that you avoid things that are disobedient to Him. It's the same way He loves it when you accept His gifts, when you accept His concession. Because He says, Inna Allah yuhibbu an tuhti ruhasa, and Allah loves that you accept His concession. And also when it comes to fasting, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ahabbu ibadi ilayya ahajaluhum kidran. The most beloved of my servants are those who break their fast quickly. So during Ramadan, if it is time for you to break your fast, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encourage that you break your fast quickly. You shouldn't delay the fast to some time before you break it. He loves that when you break your fast so quickly. This is amazing, right? MashaAllah. Subhanallah. At the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to delay our suhoor. That is the morning food we eat before we fast, just before the Fajr time. We shouldn't break it before the time because it's like we are not accepting the gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifted us, and we are taking advantage of it. We know we have a generous Lord, so merciful, so loving, and so we should make sure that we accept His concession. When we accept the concession of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in itself is an expression of gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves to pardon, He loves to forgive, He loves to make things easy for us. So let's make sure we accept all the concession Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted us. Another one too is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has relieved a sick person who is unable to fast. If it is difficult for you, it's not compulsory that you fast, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to accept this gift and express gratitude to Him. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Yuridullahu an yuhaffifa ankum. Allah wants to lighten the burden upon you, and that He says, Yuridullahu bikumul yusra wala yuridu bikumul usra. And Allah desires ease for you, not hardship. This ayah tells us how merciful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is, how amazing He is able to give us concession, like for the sake and for the traveler, not to fast if it is difficult for them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves it when we accept His concession and be thankful, be grateful, show expression of gratitude to Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among the people who attain His forgiveness and His mercy in this Laylatul Qadr. Allahumma subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. I'll see you in my next video. Barakallahu fi. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.